a Metis installation artist. I live in Southern Ontario, and I'm here at the St. Lawrence College campuses in Kingston, Brockville, and Cornwall, creating installations that address decolonization in institutions such as schools, but also in galleries, museums, and other public spaces. The project started just after COVID, was sort of simmering down a little bit. And I wasn't sure how to approach my own practice anymore. And I wasn't sure how to approach the subject of decolonization after the first 215 children, the unmarked graves were found. So my mind was wandering and trying to find a way to talk to Canadians in a respectful and calm way and discuss this issue without being confrontational. It tends to be a subject that is confrontational by nature, and I wanted it to be that it wasn't a fight; it was a conversation. So, what better medium than yarn? Very few people can get pissed off over yarn. You just can't. We may not like it sometimes when Nana makes us a sweater out of wool that we hate because it's ugly and horrible, but we still wear it when we're seeing Nana. Right? So a lot of us have pleasant memories about yarn. So that was the medium that I chose, and I learned, because I didn't know how to do any of these things, crochet, knit, and yarn, and weave, which I didn't know and I don't enjoy. But it's the right medium for this project because a community is essentially strings put together. So one string is strong, 2 strings is stronger still, 3 strings is even stronger. But if we mesh those strings together, that's what a community is, that's what a family is. And when those things are put together, it's almost hard to imagine being able to break them. And that's what we need to work towards, is that we are a community. We do need to rely on one another, and we do need to understand each other and respect one another. A lot of times I use circles because I feel like, for example, look, a family is a circle, right? And within that circle, in the installations, there'll be weavings within that circle, and that's the circle. And then the lines, which is the warp of a weaving, go out to the edge, and those are they're empty. So those are like the extended family or acquaintances or friends, and then there's this circle. And then next to that, there'll be another circle, and perhaps that circle is empty, either because the story hasn't been told yet or because that story is over. My father passed a couple of weeks ago, and that's why I started thinking about the empty circles. But then they're empty on 2 different sides. 1, because the story hasn't started, and 2, because the story is over. So the one in particular at the Kingston campus, that's what you'll see, is a variety of circles hung, suspended from the trees, and you look up into them and through the leaves into the sky. So twofold, you're seeing these clusters of family, which could be community, they could be family, whatever people want to perceive them as, but you're looking at the sky through the trees, and you're looking through an Indigenous lens. You're looking through my lens up at this sky, which is a different lens. And that's really what I want people to take away from it, is there is another perspective. There is another story, and try to keep an open mind in order to be able to take that information in. Although there are times when I feel hopeless, certainly when it comes to subjects like residential schools or anything to do with the Indian Act, I can't help but feel hopeless. But in order to heal, you have to be hopeful, and human beings, I think by nature, are hopeful. Because I think we would have a hard time going on as a species if we weren't hopeful. We'd all just give up, right? So we have to be hopeful in order to be able to heal. And hence the name of the project, which is a hashtag, Hope and Healing Canada. Just one long hashtag. And so I've just been traveling. This is 109th installation I've created across Canada. I began July 21st, 2021. And I've traveled all the way to Gabriel Island, which is off Vancouver, to east of Halifax, and everywhere in between. So I'll be continuing this project till the end of 2024, and finishing in the United States actually for a year. So institutions are open to discussing decolonization, to discussing telling the stories of everyone, not just one group, not just established communities, but newcomer Canadians and Canadians that were here not by choice because they were Black slaves. These kinds of stories are not included in most museums and need to be. And so that's what this project is for, is to discuss the fact that those people's voices are missing. LGBTQ plus stories. There's just a whole myriad of stories that are not presented in white settler museums. And they need to be, because that would be reflective of the community that they serve. They don't just serve one demographic. And that's the crux of the project. You can look on the website to see all the photos from both 2021 and 2022, as well as the list of places that I'm going to, that the exhibition is traveling to.